Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a good one. I'm Nick, and today I'm continuing my journey through Creepshow Season 1 with Episode 3. If you're new here, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more reviews like this. And you can go ahead and check out my older videos of Episode 1 and 2 if you're interested. Those are both already out on my channel. And of course, like my other videos, this is going to be a spoiler review, guys, for both segments of this episode. Like I said before, it's hard to talk in detail about these episodes when they're only 20-minute long segments. I can't beat around the bush, so I'm gonna get into spoiler territory here. Without wasting any more time, let's get into it. Starting off with the first segment, we got Hallows Eve. So this segment takes place on Halloween night. We got a group of trick-or-treaters, all in like their teens, except for one who wears a sheet over their face. They're going as a ghost, so we never do get to see how old or whatever they are, but they're much shorter than the rest of the gang. And these teens all claim to be part of, I believe, the Dragon Club, just this group that they made up, and everything seems fine and dandy. Except as the episode's going on and they're going door to door trick-or-treating, you see how concerned the parents are when they open the door and see these kids at their door. There's something going on and you're not really sure what. You learn through them talking, the kids talking, that this is the last time they have to do this. And you're like, have to? What is going on here? We learn to find out this town or neighborhood has dark secrets. And they do a really good job at slowly feeding you information, like giving you just a little hint of what might be going on behind the scenes. And we come to find out that every year they go to someone's house and take their kid. And you're like, what? Is it random? Is it selected? And we don't really know until the end what's really going on. And they go to this one person's house and they try to take their son Eddie. And the mom ain't having it. She hauls a shotgun on them and that. And they said, no matter what you do, we're taking him. And eventually they do. They take him away. And you're like, what is going on? Are these bad kids good kids? And they take this Eddie character and they set him up to burn him at the stake, like in old times, like a sacrifice. And you're like, are they doing a cult thing, a ceremony? But no, we learn to find out that this is the last year they have to do this because that is the last kid who killed their group. We find out that through flashbacks, we find out that they had their own club, the Dragons Club. And we come to find out that Eddie and his friends burnt down their clubhouse while they were all inside and ended up dying because they made sure they couldn't open the door and get out and save themselves. So you're like, okay, where these kids, the teens, seem like they were bad going door to door and taking away these other teens, you come to find out they're doing this as a revenge plot, basically avenging themselves. And overall, it's just a great reveal. Didn't really see it coming, even though you know something's going on. But it's just the way they unravel the story slowly and give you little hints. It made the ending hit harder. Like watching this at first, the main group that you're following just seemed like a bunch of a-holes. I'm like, what are they doing? But once you know what's going on, you're like, okay, I can get behind them now. And in the end, once they kill off Eddie, burn him alive, they all can finally rest. Because everybody who killed them is now all dead themselves. So they can basically leave this world and move on. Yeah, and it was a pretty great story overall. I think there was a lot of atmosphere in it. I think that the set designs were all really great, and the costumes made you really feel like it was Halloween night. And all the characters did a great job acting, and they were all convincing in their own parts. So if I'm going to have to go ahead and rate this segment, All Hallows Eve, I'm going to give it a solid 7 out of 10. Now moving on to the second segment, The Man in the Suitcase. So this one is about a guy who goes to pick up his luggage at the airport, but accidentally bringing home one that had a guy in it. Like, this was the wrong suitcase, wasn't his, but he took one that was identical. And he opens it up when he gets home after hearing these really weird noises, and it's kind of creepy. Imagine being in your house by yourself and hearing a voice coming from a suitcase. You're like, what the hell? And when he opens it up, there's a man in there, like all folded and contorted and that, and like looks really messed up in there. He was folded in the suitcase. And our main lead is a stoner in every sense of the word. So it made for comedy parts here and there where he's like, he thinks he's tripping at times and that, and I thought that really worked. Like, he's so much a stoner that he doesn't even unpack his luggage when he gets home after a trip and leaves it there until like the night or the next day before it starts making noises, and he's like, oh shit. And I was like, that's totally something I would do. When I came back from a trip last, I think I had my luggage sitting there for like a week before I unpacked it. So when our main lead tries to help the guy out of the suitcase who's begging for help, when he tries hauling on his foot, but remember he's all twisted in there, he's screaming in pain and he spits out a coin. And we learn that every time he's in extreme pain, he spits out these gold coins. And you're like, oh, what a really interesting twist on here. And after getting the coin checked out and finding out it's worth a lot of money, and his best friend and his ex-girlfriend end up walking in on the situation and finding out that there's a man in the suitcase that gives you gold coins. And his best friend and his girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, convinces him that this is a perfect opportunity to become rich. You can have anything you want. All you have to do is torture this guy in different ways, make him feel extreme pain, and he'll keep giving you gold coins. And you're like, this is almost like a genie type thing. And this is when the episode gets really dark. Like, obviously the main theme of this episode or segment is greed. And how far will you go for the money, right? And it's terrible. Like, the guy just wanted help and even said, if you help me, I will give you all the money that you get from helping me, you know, because hauling on him is going to make him in pain anyway. But they decide to keep him in the suitcase, start throwing him down the stairs and beating him, electrocuting him, really messing up. They go dark places. And not long after, our main character, our stoner, starts regretting the decision and is like, we got to stop this. But his ex-girlfriend and his best friend is not having it. They've gone completely nuts and want to see how much money they can really make off this guy, to the point where they're on the verge of killing him. And basically, they become as bad as the people who put this man in the suitcase all twisted. And there becomes a point where the stoner's like, I had enough of this. We went too far. We can't keep doing this. And the other two, his ex and his best friend, are like, no, we have to keep going further. So they pretty much push our main lead out of the equation and is like, let's keep going as far as we can. And this is the point where the guy in the suitcase ends up morphing or transforming into some type of like demon genie guy. And he ends up putting those two in separate luggages themselves, just like he was all twisted and contorted in there too as their punishment. And it's like, it leaves you to believe, it's like, this was an awesome episode, by the way, but was that guy really put in there and screwing with them? Or was he like this demon genie all along and was like, I just want to see how much greed is in this world, and the first person to show me that they're really greedy, I'm going to put them in the suitcase just like I was. And it's such an interesting concept, a super original story and everything. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I think the ending could have been a little better. I think they could have explained things, because I'm kind of confused by it a bit. Because I know that he put them in the suitcases, but it's like, are they going to be spitting out money now? Do they have the curse? Or was it just him because he had his own powers? And I'm like, I'm a little confused by that. And the way he looked, it was like almost like a Indian looking type guy in the suitcase. It's like, did he just take that shape? Or is that what the guy actually looks like? There's this, it left me asking questions, which is not a bad thing. It was just a little bit of confusion there around the end, but overall, great episode. If it wasn't for that little bit of confusion at the end, I think this could have had possibility of becoming a 9 out of 10. But as of right now, I'm going to rate it an 8 out of 10. I think it brought it down a little bit, but it's still a super solid segment and one of the best I've watched so far. Now, if I'm going to rate episode 3 as a whole, I'm going to have to give it a 7.5 out of 10. Meet in the middle. So there you have it, guys. There's my little review on Creepshow episode 3. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back as soon as possible with Creepshow episode 4 for you guys. And that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for watching.